Alright, welcome to Conspiracy Fact Daily, February 17th. It's Friday. And before we jump into anything, I want to take off where we left off with Bill Gates. And I want you to listen to something here. Now, maybe you've heard this, but if you haven't, just share this with everybody.
What do you make of all that? Dr. Wakefield wrote a paper about this saying that he felt there was a connection. And there was lower vaccination rates as a result for a period of time in Britain than the United States. What are your thoughts?
Well, Dr. Wakefield has been shown used absolutely fraudulent data. He had a financial interest in some lawsuits. He created a fake paper. The journal allowed it to run. All the other studies were done, showed no connection whatsoever, again and again and again. And so it's an absolute lie that has killed thousands of kids, because the mothers who heard that lie, many of them didn't have their kids take either pertussis or measles vaccine, and their children are dead today. And so, the people who go and engage in those anti-vaccine efforts, they kill children. It's a very sad thing, because these vaccines are important.
Alright, for those of you who don't know, that was our good friend, Mr. Bill Gates. And he is basically saying that Dr. Wakefield, if you don't know who that is, he is kind of the premier investigator, doctor involved with understanding that vaccines are causing the high rate of autism that we've just seen just jump up in the last 20 years or so. And Bill Gates is basically just saying he's a complete liar, and that vaccines are wonderful, and that they do not cause autism. And if you don't get vaccinated, you're going to probably die. There's a good chance that you'll die, like he said, like several kids have died because they didn't get those vaccines because they listened to this Wakefield, who apparently just had financial interest in exposing autism. Alright, so let's hear from Bill Gates during another little conference he was doing.
This equation has four factors, a little bit of multiplication. So you've got a thing on the left, CO2, that you want to get to zero, and that's going to be based on the number of people, the services each person's using on average, the energy on average for each service, and the CO2 being put out per unit of energy. So let's look at each one of these and see how we can get this down to zero. Probably one of these numbers is going to have to get pretty near to zero. That's back from high school algebra, but let's take a look. First, we've got population. The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
Alright, so there you have it. Straight from Bill Gates' mouth. This is not a theory. And I've been thinking about this. And a lot of people who are informed understand that Bill Gates is probably not a good guy, but they kind of talk about it in a sensational way. And Bill Gates is, trying to kill people off, and he's a megalomaniac, and etc. But it's true. You see him in interviews, and you see him do conferences and stuff. He seems like a really nice guy, but that interview, he gets very defensive when they talk about Dr. Wakefield. Now, listening to Dr. Wakefield and listening to Bill Gates, looking at Wakefield's history, his background, the people he keeps company with, and then looking at who Bill Gates keeps company with, and the fact that Bill Gates' dad was the head of Planned Parenthood. That is, not everybody's dad is the head of Planned Parenthood. And then they go on to fund all of this vaccine distribution, and not everybody goes on to fund Planned Parenthood, and not everybody says something like that in a conference, and not everybody starts attacking, Dr. Wakefield. And not everybody chums up with Warren Buffett and gets them involved in funding this stuff. And the Rockefellers. I mean, who are you going to trust? You're going to trust Dr. Wakefield, or are you going to trust Bill Gates, who is a major financial backer of Monsanto, which everybody pretty much knows about those guys.